specifically on the day of the incident, on June the 18th, 2014, in reviewing the computers and phones and things like that of the defendants, did you uncover anything of what he was doing during that day while his child was out in the car?
Yes.
Okay. What did you uncover?
He was having up to 6 different conversations with different women. It appeared from the messages from Kik mostly, which is a messaging service.
And is that a computer-related messaging service?
It is.
And these conversations he was having with these females, were these, of what nature were they?
The most common term would be sexting.
Were photos being sent back and forth between these women and the defendant during this day while the child's out in the car?
Yes, there were photos of his exposed penis, erect penis being sent. There were also photos of women's breasts being sent back to him.
Now, have you located every one of these girls that he's had contact with?
I have not.
Have you located any of them?
I've located 2 of them.
Okay. The first one, I won't use the username, but I guess, for lack of a better term, the older one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you speak with her?
I did.
And what did she say?
She stated that she had first met Ross, and she knew him as Ross through Scout, which is another messaging service, and that he had met up and that he wanted to hook up with her.
And did she talk to you and confirm the nature of what you saw on these chats back and forth?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Now, I'm going to turn your attention. Was there also another girl that you met and that you've spoken with?
I have.
And how old is that girl?
She is 17 at this time.
How old was she when the defendant began these?
Judge, I'm going to object. I mean, I'll let a little bit of this go, but I don't see how this has anything to do with anything.
Your Honor, it goes.
If this is something that's going on during the middle of the day, I don't think it's relevant. What would be relevant would be the time period when the child was initially left in the car.
Your Honor, this goes to negligence through the day, what he's doing through the day instead of worrying about his kid. It also goes to motive and marital problems between he and his wife and his unhappiness.
I'm unclear as to the time frame. Do you have?
Yes, I'll clear it up. Okay. And so these messages and these chats, did they start in the morning?
They do.
Okay. And did they continue throughout the day?
They do.
And when did they end?
Around 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Okay. So about an hour before he left.
Overrule the objection.
Now, this 16-year-old girl, with these chats or now 17, they started when she was 16.
Correct.
Were these sexually involved as well?
They were.
Okay. Did she send him a picture that day?
She did.
Of what?
She sent a picture of her exposed breasts.
And did he send any pictures to her?
He did. He sent a picture of his exposed erect penis.
Now, we talked a little bit about these computers. Have you guys done examinations on these computers?
We have.
Are you finished with your examination of these computers?
We've only scratched the surface.
Now, based upon your review of these computers and other devices that he's had contact with, is it obvious that he has deleted some of the things from cross-referencing these computers and phones and items?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to turn your attention, again, like I said, motive as to his marital status, issues he's having, and his state of mind. Did the wife tell you anything they were having any problems in their marriage?
Leanna stated that they're having intimacy problems.
Going back to show how far this has been in his mind and the relationship between the two of them, did some messages with even different girls from back in 2013 confirm that he'd been...
Judge, I'm going to object again. I mean, if this is being offered somehow to prove motive, I don't know what in the world something back in 2013's got to do with this at all. There's been no connection whatsoever between the events of that day and the death of this child and this fantasy texting or whatever it is. There's no connection at all.
Judge?
Repeat your question.
Okay. In specifically to the motive or issue of having marital problems...
Let me hear the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did he have chats regarding sexual activities with other women while his wife was sleeping and while his child was in the room somewhere?
Well, again, what time frame are we doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. This would have been back around 2013, leading up to 2014 when this happened. It's an ongoing activity of the marital issues, Judge.
So your contention is that proves motive how?
It proves motive because he was unhappy in his marriage. We plan to show that he wanted to live a child-free life, or there's evidence to suggest that based on his internet searches.
Well, I'm still going to object, Judge. If you're unhappy in your marriage, you get a divorce. We're a long, long way from having some sort of fantasy texting situation to the death of a child. There's no connection there at all. So I'm going to object to this. It's just not relevant.
Judges.
Well, this is a probable cause hearing, and there's no jury, and the court will consider the evidence for whatever weight and value it should be given in the court's determination of probable cause. So overrule the objection.
And I'll just speed this along. Were there texts and messages talking about the fact that his wife knew he had cheated on her before?
Yes, there were.
And let's talk about and move up to about 2 weeks before the child's death. With one of these people he was having a conversation with, did he talk about exposing himself while he's chatting and messaging this girl?
Yes.
And was he sending pictures?
Yes.
And did he admit to her that he was not alone while he was doing it?
Yes.
And what was his
Judge,
quote?
listen, we're getting so far afield from the events of June the 18th. This has got nothing to do with those events whatsoever.
Judges.
The status of his marriage and his fantasy life has got nothing to do with the events of June the 18th. We're just getting so far afield, Judge. This isn't relevant to anything.
Judge, this goes to his state of mind in the 2 weeks leading up to the death of this child.
So this occurred within 2 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor.
Overrule the objection.
When she talked about him exposing himself to her on that and there's being somebody else there, what did he say?
Who is she? I'm just going to object.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Who is
This
she?
other person that he is messaging with.
Is it one of the two we know about?
It's several other girls, Judge.
Okay.
This is
Overrule-
a different one. Thank you.
Judge,
Overrule the objection. Yes, sir.
we don't even know if it's a girl. If it's just some person, have we identified them?
Well, would it be less relevant if it were a man?
I'll get back to you on that, Judge.
And from looking at the contacts, Detective, did you confirm via picture and name, and was this a female?
Yeah, the profile that she put online is that she was a female.
And in addition to that, we talked about fantasy and things like that. Did you confirm through text and things like that that this was more than fantasy and that he'd actually met up for things?
Yes,
And one of those occasions at Rope Mill Park in Cherokee County?
that is correct.
Judge, again, I don't even know where to go from this. What in the world is something that he's met up with somebody, whether he has or not, last month, last year? What in the world has that got to do with the events of June the 13th?
Well,
18th?
as Mr. Barnes explained repeatedly, it's what he contends is evidence of a motive. However, I think you have beat the horse to death, Mr. Bourne. If you'll move on to facts of the case.
Thank you. And Your Honor, may I take one more shot at the horse just to explain his state of mind one day later? It's not to do with the sexting.
Is it the final question on this topic?
It is.
Go ahead.
Detective, in that same, on the 5th of June, he talks about being a guitar player with this girl. She asked him about cheating on his wife. Did she ask him a question about his conscience?
She did.
What did she ask him?
She
Now,
asked,
she's who?
She's this other girl he is sexting with.
Thank you.
and she does. And
Objection. That's
Same
no way
response.
relevant to anything.
Final question, he says, Mr. Kilgore. I'm going to allow a question and answer, and then we're moving on.
she says something to the effect of, "Do you have a conscience?"
And what was his response?
Nope.